Hi, I'm Kristina Bergsten with the Animal Law Firm, where we are fighting for the underdog. Today I would like to talk to you about the nuances of what your landlord can ask for in terms of paperwork if you have an ESA. So I know I've talked about emotional support animals in the past and we've done kind of an overview, but here is a little bit more in-depth look at what your landlord can and cannot ask for when you have an emotional support animal or a service animal. We'll start with emotional support animal, and then I'll do another video talking about service animals because it is two different laws that govern each type of designation. So if you have an emotional support animal, your landlord can ask you for documentation supporting the need for a support animal. This is where it gets a little tricky because the guidelines on this by the federal government are not super clear in terms of what to do if it's an obvious disability versus a well, they'll call it a visible versus an invisible or non-visible disability. But generally speaking, most emotional support animals are for non-visible disabilities. Oftentimes they're not even for disabilities. But anyway, because a lot of times it's things like anxiety, which is not a disability under the DSM. Or defined by the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. So anyway, so if you have an emotional support animal, let's say for anxiety or depression, which are not disabilities, your landlord can ask for verification from a doctor about the need for an emotional support animal. Now, HIPAA prevents your doctor from disclosing information about your medical condition, but your doctor can say things like, "Hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so. I've been treating Bobby Smith for 13 years or 3 years or 6 months, whatever it is, and I have diagnosed him as needing a emotional support animal." They can say, "I've diagnosed him with a disability." They can say that his symptoms require the need of an emotional support animal to mitigate his symptoms, something like that. So he or she, your doctor won't give the details of your diagnosis, and they're technically not supposed to under HIPAA, because then you can sue your doctor, right? But as long as they say that they've been treating you, the length of time, that you have symptoms that require the need of an emotional support animal who mitigates those symptoms, then that should suffice, and that should be the end of the inquiry. I get a lot of calls from people who are saying that landlords want you to sign a release so they can just call your doctor and get whatever they want. That's not allowed. Or they want your doctor to fill out a form, and your doctor will usually fight this, saying like, "No, I need a release in order to do this, and also I'm not doing this." So it should just be a letter from a doctor. Now, all these websites, they offer the ability for you to get a letter from a doctor, and technically these are acceptable. There's been a lot of landlords are putting up more of a fight when people will go to a website and get a therapist to write them a letter from an entirely different state than where the person lives. So just be careful about that, because it's likely that that will not be accepted, and that can open the door for more inquiry into your emotional support animal. So basically that's it. They can ask for some backup information from a doctor, but they can't get your disability. They can't make you fill out their form. They can't make your doctor fill out their form. They can't make your doctor talk to them directly. They can't make you sign a release. So if any of those things are happening, or if they're threatening to evict you, or if they're imposing fines and penalties on you, because you haven't signed their form, all of that stuff is illegal. So give us a call. We're happy to help. Even if we're not in the same state, we can always be admitted what's called pro hoc vice, which means we have to have a partner in your state, which means a local attorney. So if you find a local attorney who doesn't really do this, but they wouldn't mind partnering with us, we're certainly happy to help. Yeah, so check us out. We also have more resources on our website at theanimallawfirm.com, and we have a template for a letter that works in any state because it's federal law that's recited in that letter. So if you go to theanimallawfirm.com and you check on our template section of our website, we have an emotional support animal letter to your landlord for when they're violating the law, if they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, like asking you to fill out forms or asking for releases and things like that. So yeah, thanks for listening. I will see you guys next time. Stay safe out there, underdogs.